One thing I don't understand about modern gaming discourse, or I guess modern console fanboy discourse, because you really don't see this anywhere other than those circles, but the thing I don't get is this idea that the mere concept of a first-party game going to a new platform so more people can experience it, like that as a concept is enough to start yelling at each other over. Despite the fact that if you actually cared about these games, if you actually cared about this art that you think is so great, I think this game is amazing, it's wonderful, I think it's so awesome, more people should play it. If that's actually how you felt, I can't help but realize that insisting that people who don't also buy the $500, $400 plastic box with the right logo on it, saying those people can never experience the game, but also I sure do love the game. This game is awesome and I love it and more people should experience it, but also if you even imply that more people should experience it on different platforms, then you're just a port beggar, you're just a butt face. Granted, I'm a PC player, so I'm totally on the outside looking in on these things, but I just always think that's so funny. I just think that on its face is so ridiculous. This idea that first-party games are simultaneously really great pieces of art, but also cannot be experienced by anyone who didn't buy the right plastic box. It's a wonderful piece of art that more people should experience, but also you cannot experience it unless you support the right corporation. And if a great piece of art becomes more accessible by not being attached to a single corporation, that is somehow a W for a different corporation. Which brings us to today's topic. So apparently, some new job listings were posted for the development team of Gears of War E-Day, and it's causing quite a stir in certain circles of the internet who are now claiming that this job application is somehow confirmation that Gears of War E-Day is going to PlayStation. And the thing is, we're living in a timeline where it's not even out of the question for Gears of War to go to PlayStation. Like, that's absolutely not out of the question given current Xbox leadership. And that's what's so annoying about this drama specifically, because if Gears of War actually does go to PlayStation, these people perpetuating the dumbest things I've ever read are going to say that they were right the whole time, and they're going to feel so validated, and it's going to drive me bananas. But anyways, the thing that's causing everyone to lose their mind is this little thing in the preferred qualifications where it says interest in multiplayer gaming, experience with Unreal Engine, experience with other object-oriented programming languages, game-specific networking experience, including object replication, client-server and peer-to-peer architecture, server migration, dedicated servers, time sync, prediction, QoS, voice, etc., and the last one, experience with Xbox Live, PSN, Steam, or other online gaming platforms. This is being used as absolute confirmation by some people in the PlayStation circles that the game is launching on PlayStation, because Microsoft and the coalition want to hire someone to work on the game who has experience working on games. This is where we're at. This is how slow the news cycle is. Zubitech says Gears of War E-Day job listing points to PS5 release. At Next Gen Player, Gears of War E-Day may come to PS5, hence a coalition job posting. TCMF2 says Gears of War E-Day job listing mentions PlayStation. A job listing for a senior online client engineer, Gears of War, mentions PlayStation. And then has a Photoshop of the Gears of War poster with PlayStation logos on it. And like, this is just so dumb. And like this, and before anyone tries to be like, Joe, you're just mad that it's going to PlayStation, I will literally say this a million times. I want this game on PlayStation. I want Gears of War on more platforms because I like the Gears of War games. I want more people to play them. We're not here to laugh at the concept of Gears of War on PlayStation. We're here to laugh at the fact that the PlayStation dudes can't fucking read because the word "or" is in there. Experience with Xbox Live, PSN, Steam, or other online gaming platforms, and you're taking this as absolute confirmation that Gears of War is going to PlayStation. And not just an indication that this company is going to drop 6 figures on you and give you benefits. They are trusting you to work on one of the most high-profile games in the industry of the release year, and they would like it if you had some experience working on games before. That's not strange. Of course they want you to have experience working with major online gaming platforms. Of course they want that. It's a Gears of War game. And also, aren't the PlayStation dudes the same people that always make fun of Xbox and PC and Switch people for not wanting to buy a PlayStation to play the first-party PlayStation games? Aren't you guys the same people who call everyone else port beggars? and yet here you are grasping at the tiniest straws imaginable to get an Xbox game on PlayStation. Am I the only one who sees comedy in this? But let's just go through some of the dumbest discourse over this, because this really is the dumbest discourse I've seen in a while. Granted, I'm okay with it because it's been a minute since I made a PlayStation Twitter salt video. So like, you know, by all means, keep it coming. It's just like on like the financial side of my brain is like, yes, keep doing this. I make videos. But the other half of my brain, the like desire for a more positive humanity and like for society to move in a more intelligent direction, that side of my brain is not here anymore. So let's start with the Zubitech post here. He says, Gears of War E-Day job listing points to PlayStation 5 release, because they want someone to have experience with Xbox Live, PSN, Steam, and other online gaming platforms. Oh, also, that's in the preferred qualifications section, not the required qualifications section. Just in case you really wanted to see how much of a straw this was. They're not even demanding someone with PSN experience. They're just asking for someone with any experience. So like, what? So let's look through the responses here. Hard Truths responds and says, I'm a PlayStation fanboy, but that doesn't mean anything. Only that they want someone with experience with online platforms. Beef Supreme responds, for what purpose? Chris says, because Gears is played online, not really good making a game with people who have no experience making online games, is there really? Beef Supreme says, I'm asking about PSN specifically. Jix says, do you not have any critical thinking skills of your own? Beef, I'll take that to mean I don't know the answer. I love this. So this all starts when we look at a job listing for someone working on an online game. And in the preferred qualifications, they want you to have experience with online games. Doesn't matter what platform those online games were on, they just want you to have some experience with online games. OP takes that as confirmation that the game is coming to PlayStation specifically. Even though if this was the logic we were using, we would have to then take the or other platforms there as canon as well, which means by the same logic that this game is going to PlayStation, it's also going to Switch and mobile devices and the Amazon Fire Stick. Like, you can't take something that is vague by design and then use it as proof of a specific thing. That doesn't make any fucking sense. But that's what OP does. Someone points out that that's what OP is doing, and then you're over here defending OP. And then when people stop responding to your dog shit, well, I'll take that to mean I don't know the answer. I don't know why I turned into Palpatine halfway through that sentence. Usually I feel like I have more to say in response to people in these videos. I usually feel like I have more words to make with my mouth. But this is just, how did we get here? How slow is PlayStation that these are the links you're going to tell people that they should get excited and that PlayStation's awesome. PlayStation is awesome because maybe an Xbox game is coming in a few years. That's the hill you're dying on? Ninja 2029 tweets back with an Xbox Wojak looking in a sadness mirror. And then a Heath Ledger Joker clip. Here we go. And he gets a response from Lamar with a PlayStation profile picture and 50 million laughing, crying emojis. Like, Jesus Christ, this is, like, how slow is this? How little do you have to talk about on your own platform? But then again, this Jamar guy also quote tweets the Zubitech post with the JJJ laughing gif because it's absolutely hysterical that you get a game. It's just like, it's so funny that you get to maybe play a game in a couple years. Yeah, that's hysterical. Owning the libs with this one. Like, what? Waifu Hunter says, what is Xbox? Microsoft Gaming. Laughing. And then just a Photoshop of a bunch of Xbox games with PlayStation logos on them. It's like, I don't get this. I don't get how this is an argument in either direction. Like, oh my god, it's so funny that Xbox is checks notes making money off PlayStation 2. Like, Xbox is so dead, Xbox is so horrible. Then that's why Xbox is making money off the platform you play on instead of just their own. And like, what do you have to say about games on Xbox that PlayStation makes money off of? Like the MLB The Show and like Destiny. Because I'm pretty sure you would say like, heh, PlayStation wins because they make money off Xbox. But then when Xbox makes money off PlayStation, it's like, heh, PlayStation still wins. Oliver Darko says, everything is falling into place. Remember to keep this energy when Sony goes day and date on PC. Like, just remember how stoked you were about multi-platform games being a good thing. Just remember to keep this energy. I feel like you won't. Ollie B says, or maybe, just maybe, the online system works similar in all of them, so if you work with either, it should be fine. But then Eric responds and says, they are not similar. Oh, they're not similar, which is why the application lumps them all together. There's no like overarching skills between any of them. That's why they're all in the same sentence together. Working on Xbox Live and working on PlayStation Network give you no relevant experience to switch from one platform to another in terms of the work being done. Oh my lord. Have you ever read a job application? Have you ever been employed? Are you familiar with the concept of relevant experience? What? Dimitri says, I guess that is why they made a prequel, and within time, the other games will come to PS5 too in a remastered way. Their strategy's so clear now. You got all that from the letters PSN in a job application for an online gaming position? Ooh! Sometimes I wish I could see the world like this just for a few hours. I just want to know what it's like. Like, you know, maybe they're making a prequel because nobody fucking likes the new characters and they want to bait your nostalgia and do a return to form game, like they've literally said multiple times about the game in question. But no, they're doing a prequel so they can get it to PS5. Their strategy is so clear now. Let's go over to this post from Next Gen Player because there was an interaction in this thread that I thought this was fucking hysterical. So Melee Damage responds and says, the advertisement mentions experience with Xbox Live, PSN, Steam, or other online gaming platforms. This type of wording is used across various jobs for the reason that if you have experience in A, said skills are likely transferable to B. Kratos responds, but they specified it for Gears E-Day. Melee Damage says, it's a job advertisement. This is literally how advertisements are written when it comes to hiring new staff. Join our new team at a newly established fast food restaurant. Previous experience at Burger King, McDonald's, or KFC is desirable. Same thing. Kratos responds, then why is Sony or Nintendo is not doing this to their exclusive games? Melee Damage says, doing what? Kratos, hiring devs that knows Xbox Live. Melee Damage, I'm absolutely certain they have/do, but you're missing the point. The coalition is simply hiring people with experience of working with network services. It doesn't make any difference to them as to which service the successful candidate has worked with in the past. Kratos says, then why not include Nintendo? Melee Damage, they literally specify or other online gaming platforms. This would include Nintendo Online, Ubisoft Plus, EA Play, Epic Games Store, etc. Kratos, nope, they even specify Steam. And then he attaches a screenshot from an article talking about the job listing and not the actual job listing. So Melee Damage comes back and corrects him with the actual job listing and says, no, that's from a clickbait article. This is from the actual job advertisement. Then Kratos says, still no Nintendo on that list. You guys have nothing better to do. Melee Damage, bless your heart. You were doing your best. You didn't know any better. Kratos, what were you doing? How bored were you? Still no Nintendo on that list. It's implied in the other online gaming platforms. The most relevant ones would be the 3 most popular online gaming platforms for a game like Gears of War. Xbox Live, because it's an Xbox game. PlayStation Network, because that's the main competitor to Xbox, and if you've worked on Xbox, you're a better candidate for working on something as large scale as PlayStation. Then they list Steam, because that's the biggest PC gaming platform, and this game will have a Steam release most likely. Or other online gaming platforms, because obviously they are not going to list the 5 bajillion possible online gaming platforms. Like, by this logic, if you don't have experience with Xbox, PlayStation, or Steam, you're just out of the running, which means you could have been the head honcho on a game like League of Legends or World of Warcraft, and by your logic, you would just be shown the door. You really think that's what's happening here? That's how desperate you are to defend your dogshit PlayStation-obsessed perspective. This is pathetic. Cyberpunk says, how on earth has anybody took this as it's coming to PlayStation? Just Me says, why else would you need experience with PlayStation Network to work on Gears? Have you ever had a job? Have you ever applied for a job? Not every job ever has skills applicable to every other job ever, so you list some relevant ones that might be helpful to the job. Ooh, it must be so fun not having a job. Gosh, you guys are a trip. You guys are fun. You guys are really fun. This is wild. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. You know what I mean? Okay, I don't have a good outro for this because I've been talking nonsense for however long I've been doing this. And when I just talk pure nonsense, like when it just doesn't make any sense, those are the hardest ones to have outros for. Because it's like, how do I sum this up? How do I sum this up in any kind of intelligent way? I'm just gonna... Okay, toodles.